Hey there, it's Paula, and I'm back for day 4 of this 30-day video challenge. And today I'm going to talk about meditation. Yesterday was all about resistance, and I found myself listening to this really amazing book. It's called Living Untethered by Michael Singer. It's a really great book, and he talks about I'll keep this short, but like about the your inner landscape and how you can go inward and kind of find the truth of who you are at the very center. And I found this to be a super interesting book. It's taken me a little while to get through it because it's very heavy and it's a lot to chew on, both for your mind and for your soul. He has a chapter on meditation. So let me back up just a little bit. If you know my channel here, Jumpstart Your Joy, you know that I love and I am certified in Labyrinth facilitation. I'm showing you all a what is called a hand labyrinth right here in beautiful Seattle Seahawk colors. Just kidding. But this one is a classical labyrinth. It's modeled after the Cathedral of Chartres, the labyrinth there. And what it is basically is a walking meditation. Now, during the pandemic, we got used to using some of these that are handheld because we weren't really gathering in places together. And I've found that this is also a really nice way to get centered. The idea is that with a labyrinth, it is not a maze, there's only one path, a circuitous route that would lead you into the center. There's nothing confusing and no way to get lost. Back in about 2004, I walked my first labyrinth and found that it was a really lovely way to sink into meditation because when I've thought about in the past, meditation tools. I've really enjoyed another method, which is called centering prayer, and I can link to that. I have a couple of those on Insight Timer if you want to listen to them. But oftentimes, I think a lot of people find that it's hard to do a sitting meditation because the monkey mind, as they call it, gets going, and there's like all this chatter, and it's very hard to center into the stillness and the center of it. Amongst the rest of the information your brain is feeding you. Now, the thing that Michael Singer says in this chapter, and I will link to this book as well, is so good because he one says, and I love this, that our minds are addicted to many things, and one of the things they are addicted to are their own thoughts. Let me just let that settle in, that our minds are addicted to our own thoughts. And so that's part of why when you try and settle in and center on a meditation, it becomes very difficult to just get quiet because your mind's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? It's part of the addiction. The other thing that he says is that meditation is always a practice. Now, of course, that's the verb that gets used with it all the time, but it gave me new insights as to why practice really fits for meditation. He recommends that you do it twice a day, 15 minutes. And when you feel yourself fighting, if you are sitting doing a sitting silent meditation, to just let it be, right? Just release it, let it go, don't judge it because really every time you're kind of retraining yourself to get back to that silent place instead of all the thoughts that kind of a capitalist and modern society might be telling you you need to be thinking. But the piece for me that he doesn't talk about, this is now back to my own thoughts about this, is that as I said, a silent sitting meditation can be really difficult for me. But when you think about this, it gives that mind that's addicted to its own chatter and its own noise something to do. It tells you, maybe I'll put up a picture of a walking labyrinth here, but a walking labyrinth gives your mind something to do in the way that it's telling your feet to walk forward. You kind of do a light gaze down to watch the path. And there's so many switchbacks, etc., that kind of ease you into what we would call liminal space when you're doing a labyrinth walk. That I think it's all of that that's letting the chatter of your mind drop away. And it's allowing you, it's almost a trick, but maybe not. But it allows you to go deep into the center and it gives you maybe kind of a distraction. Um, but it stops the chatter of the mind, and I think that's really nice. So that's the labyrinth, and I am thinking that as part of this 30-day video series, I'm going to do a labyrinth walk with you all. It will be on a handheld one. So if you are interested in that, I will put a link in my profile or below, and you can sign up because I'm going to send you an email so you can get the download. I'll tell you what day it's because I just don't know yet. Well, but let's do that because I would love to share my love of the labyrinth. The other thing that he said that I loved so much about meditation is something that I've seen come up with labyrinth walks as well. So, like the very first time I went on a labyrinth walk, it was August of 2004. And I was on a retreat and I went on this labyrinth walk and I thought, hmm, I don't get it. Like, what's the point? Like, back and forth, whatever. It's a spiritual tool. I don't know. I was not in no way was I impressed or like engrossed in it, which was really interesting knowing what I know now about them. But that night, we were staying over at the retreat center. I and it was a beautiful full moon. It was warm out. I woke up in the middle of the night and I sat up in my bed and I was like, I got to walk that labyrinth. I gotta go. Like, I don't know why. And so I went down there, and by the light of the moon, I walked the labyrinth by myself. And I was hooked. I don't know what it is, but it called to me. And that's what Lauren Artress, who's the founder of the modern labyrinth movement, will talk about when she talks about the labyrinth, is that she asks the question of, did you find the labyrinth or did the labyrinth find you? I think the labyrinth found me. But the thing that Michael Singer says in Untethered Living that also really struck a chord with me here is lots of times when I'm leading the labyrinth, I mention this story, but I'm also very careful to mention that, like, well, but you might not have that kind of experience that I had. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night, it was magical, and things happened, and it changed my life. Like, you may not have that experience. And he talks about that too in meditation, is that it's often those silent, um, less ground shaking, less magical experience when you're working on meditation, when you're in the practice of meditation, that it's doing the work internally, right? If you look back at my story, you see I had to have that first completely uneventful, completely, unwow moment of walking a labyrinth because that's where my mind started working on it. My mind was starting to get unaddicted to itself. I was starting to glom onto something else. It was taking me inward. And I needed that first experience to give it a try. So, if you have had a rough go of meditation or you're looking for a practice that maybe would take you inward and you would like a guide who I would like to think gets it, that'd be me. I invite you to join me for a handheld labyrinth walk and sign up below. I'll drop a form in there for us. And then I'll give you some more information. But just stay tuned because it's going to come up. It'll be on this channel, or I might put it on YouTube because it may go longer than the 15 minutes ish. So let me know what you think. Have you ever meditated? Have you ever had one of those experiences that was just underwhelming? Or have you had one that was wow and you don't really know how you got there? I would love to hear. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow.